All right, the excitement. Very cool. Nice TFT, that's badass. Not quite flat foot. Nice little handguards, yeah, man.
We make this in two configurations. We have the standard Versys 650, and then we have the LT model. The
Okay.
difference between them is the handguards and the saddlebags on the LT.
Okay, so that's the main difference. Oh, cool.
If you wanted to buy the saddlebags separate, it'd be about $1,000. To get the handguards and the saddlebags on the LT version, it only raises the price like 600 bucks. So.
Okay, right on. Yeah. Nice, thanks.
Cool.
Very cool. I like the new dashboard that's on it, and I definitely think that LT model is worth it because I'd be all about getting some guards and definitely some bags. Oh yeah, nice and peppy. Oh, that. Okay, first right up front, talking comfort. The handlebar situation is very nice, especially coming off of my KLR right now with the handlebars being super wide. These feel in a very nice position. Obviously not fantastic for off-road, so fair enough. But the feet and foot pegs are a little bit behind my... They're pretty much like right under my ass, where my KLR is a little bit farther forward. I would say this is a more sportier riding position and feel. The seat is very, very comfortable. It's easy for the back of my ass to hit the back of the seat, which provides definitely this very secure feeling in the bike. It definitely feels very, very comfortable. Good strong brake on it in the front and the rear. Okay, there's triggered the ABS. That's pretty easy to do though on most ABS models. But I like the windscreen. The windscreen's exactly like the KLR, except for this one looks like it's a little bit easier to adjust. Oh yeah, I love, love, love that parallel twin Kawasaki intake sound. I would be the first to tell you I don't like the sound of the parallel twins that come from Kawasaki, but whatever they've done in the last couple of years with the intake sound, it is fan-frickin-tastic, and I would truly like to hear an exhaust on this thing. So hopefully we get on the freeway here. I'm sure we'll get onto some back roads. I would say maybe kind of a negative to the seating position is I don't feel I can move around a lot. I'm in a very comfortable position, but I don't have like leeway to go forwards and backwards really. You're just kind of in this position. Not that it's bad, I'd say it's about perfect. I am 5'10", and I cannot perfectly flat foot this bike. In fact, I am tippies on both, so this I think is 31.5 inseam. So it's a little bit taller, but for the dashboard, it's pretty dang nice. We've got our tachometer, gear select indicator, fuel, time, a big mile per hour. This little TFT is actually really, really nice. It's not very big, but it's big enough. She feels pretty dang good, I'll tell you that. The wind protection that I'm getting from it is pretty nice. It is kind of like my KLR. In fact, that's the exact same windscreen on my KLR, and I definitely would want it in higher position. We'll see what happens if we get on the freeway and how she feels. Leaning her over is a little weird. I gotta look at the suspension. What are we on here? We are inverted forks, which is cool, but we are not adjustable, it looks like. And the other thing I'm noticing is we don't really have any heated grips. So we're gonna lose that amenity. From my understanding, the 1000cc version of the Versys does have heated grips and cruise control, where this one does not. So we do have the KRT, the Kawasaki traction control, essentially. But she definitely feels good. Very, very smooth. These parallel twins are always like a nice, smooth feeling motorcycle. There's nothing daunting about them. Power-wise, it's definitely in the beginner realm because it's smooth and linear, I think. So I think it's a manageable power for a new rider. I don't know if maybe you would be comfortable with the height of it if you're a new rider. It is a little tiny bit top heavy, but I think if you got used to, you know, tippy-toeing and being okay with that, I think you would be fine. The 650s are generally right there at that limit of beginner friendly-ish. I still think maybe if you're super young and it's your first bike, maybe not. But good features on these bikes are slipper clutches. They have slipper clutches, which are fantastic, super safe. ABS. You'll find ABS in the rear always being annoying because you just really can't use that rear brake. You'll just trigger your ABS all the time, which is kind of annoying, but... Oh wow, look at that. It is beautiful out here. The mirrors, nothing special about them. They're not vibey, as this motorcycle is definitely not vibey, which is great. The wind protection so far is feeling pretty dang nice. Like, I like the fact that my legs are not getting hit because of these big old fairings, which is fantastic. When we're talking commuting, because that's what we're going to do with this bike, is commute the dang thing. And to be honest, it's actually, the power of this engine is still really fun, so you're still going to have some fun while commuting, where I'm really enjoying my KLR and it's commuting pretty decent, but let's face it, there's no real fun in that bike. It doesn't have power after, you know, 70-ish miles per hour. It's just kind of lugging its way up. So this, you're still going to be able to rip through cars. This is feeling fantastic and smooth here at about 70. The wind protection is really nice. In fact, even with this windscreen in the low position, I am not feeling wind on my head right now, which is awesome. I'd say the only thing I'm really getting is a little bit on my shoulders here. But I maybe don't really like the rear view mirrors, but how often do you like the mirrors on these motorcycles? Honestly, I'll probably find something a little bit better. That would be something you'd upgrade. It just kind of like the Z650 I rode last year. The handlebars are in kind of a weird position for me. I wouldn't say that I'm in love with them. I would definitely want to get, you know, upgrade those. I love that sound though. I mean, it may not have a great exhaust note, but if you're not somebody who wants to put an exhaust system on a bike, that intake note is fantastic. Alright, she clutchless downshifts pretty good. We are city cruising. The gearbox is a little clunkier than... Not that it's bad, it's feeling good. Let's see, it is easy to get into neutral, that's cool. Little clutchless upshift with her. Yeah, she's, you know, that tranny is a little strange. I am not in love with it. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say that's kind of the only negative I've felt so far. I mean, it is a brand new 2023, so maybe it being worked in a little bit. The clutch feels a little janky, or at least the gearbox. They're very solid feeling. They just clunk into play, even when using the clutch. So maybe a clutch adjustment on this bike, possibly. But I'd say that's so far the only real negative I can find with it, is the gearbox is not the most amazing feeling gearbox. Hell, even my little crappy KLR feels freaking better than that. But everything else so far, like, I don't know if I really want traction control. I mean, that's not a bad thing for a commuter. It's actually probably a really good thing. It's not like we're trying to come off the line and shred this bike and try and wheelie it all over the place. Because the traction control on this is going to be fairly numb. It's going to be ran off your ABS sensors, so it's not something I care to have, I guess. In fact, I'd want to turn it off, to be honest with you. ABS is good enough for me. I'd always love to be able to shut it off, but it is a commuter bike for the road. We're not taking this thing off road, so it doesn't really matter that much, and it's safer, no doubt. It looks like there is some upgrades we could do, some little spots, kind of like the KLR for the USB and the power outlet, and potentially a button for some lights, which is pretty cool. So it's already set up and ready with little pop outs for you to upgrade if that's what you want to do to this bike, which is kind of cool. It's pretty neat. I definitely like the fact that they went to the inverted forks, which is really cool. Maybe adjustability. Oh, you know what? I lied to you guys. There is adjustability on these forks. That's freaking cool. Okay, never mind. That just upscaled this bike in my mind quite a bit. But brakes are good. They're good enough. I wouldn't say they need any upgrade or any kind of pads like that. I think it's perfectly fine stock the way it is. That's always nice to not have to worry about. It's definitely something on my KLR. Sorry if I keep referencing the KLR. It's just the most recent thing I've been riding. And the front brakes on that thing, yeah, pads, anything would help with this thing. At least this has the dual 4 pistons. This has some good braking power. Nothing to worry about there. But yeah, a lot of fun, guys. This was a good bike to ride. I like it. I don't think you can go wrong. If you want a commuter, here you go. Good priced. I think it's worth that upgrade of the LT to get the handguard so you don't have to worry about that stuff later. And of course, the bags are fan-freaking-tastic. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. And I'll see you guys next week.
Right?
Yeah. It's smooth.
Yeah.
It's a good riding bike, that's for sure.
Yeah, our lead chase, we did the same thing with our dedicated. They had their pick of the litter, whatever they wanted to be their dedicated bike.
And this was it?
This one just because they thought it was the most comfortable all day, everyday bike.
Nice.